Good afternoon. This Tuesday, June 29th. Well, tomorrow, end of the month, end of the quarter. And it's the biggest crop report of the year, the June 30th acreage data, along with stocks for June 1st. Today's action, very volatile in Minneapolis wheat, as some are probably going to scream top because technically, well, we did go to the best levels of the last several years within pennies. It's almost July 4th. You get a vicious reaction like that. It's easy to scream top, but the thing is, I think we had a top today, a top in the spreads. As you recall, we've been discussing how spring wheat would likely chase $2 plus higher over the winter wheat contracts, which just a little over 30 days ago, you could have bought spring wheat premium to Kansas, about 20 cents, premium to Chicago, about 30 cents. And as of this morning, you were up almost $2 on those spreads. And I think what you've seen today was this morning, you could see it at 8:30. Spring wheat was not climbing above overnight highs, while Chicago wheat, Kansas wheat, corn, soybeans were all racing higher this morning. And you can see the unwinding of spreads. And so that spread has topped out. And the liquidity of Minneapolis is not very good. And when thousands of contracts are liquidated on spreads, it got hurt pretty bad. So tomorrow it'll be important to see Minneapolis wheat trading quickly back above $8.20, or else there'll be some technical damage. We'll talk about that. But we have the USDA crop report coming up. So let's go through numbers that are expected, look at some weather, and see the charts. Before we get underway with the charts, I just want to remind you, you can access all this information via our website. Just log in for a 2-week free trial. You'll get a morning text every day on your phone, what's going on overnight, what to expect during the day, intraday alerts, like when a crop report comes out, you get a text within minutes to tell you what the USDA crop report just said, and of course, our afternoon newsletter and video update series. Make sure you go to heartlandinvest.com to sign up today. Grain stocks tomorrow, 4,144 is the number for corn. This is the most important one that we're going to be looking at tomorrow, as the USDA is way behind on exports, way behind on ethanol usage, and some of these lower numbers are more likely to show up. I think this one here has more validity as they have to play catch up. And of course, old crop stocks affect carryouts and go forward all the way to our new crop, which I'm sure now is getting close to 1 billion bushels. And now consider the demand for new crop coming up with the Brazilian freeze that took some more bushels off that crop. The other important one is wheat. We're not going to see a big change here this month, but going forward we will, because this is going to be eviscerated by spring wheat. The yields are collapsing, and we've probably lost 100 million bushels of spring wheat now nationally, and this number, that spring wheat goes right onto this number, and we get into next month, this is going to be something closer to 725 million, but that's not for tomorrow. This is the number we're watching tomorrow, and I think we're going to see it under 4 billion if they start coming practical about their expectations on what ethanol demand has been for old crop and for our export. Now let's go to the acreage. Corn, your average guess, 93,787. That's up some 2.6 million bushels from acres from last month. Yes, I do know there are people out there that are thinking 4 to 5 million acres. We have the high side here. This is Informa, 95.84. Yeah, if that came out, that would be a problem. Some that probably would shove corn right back down to where it came from in the 513 range, where I think weather will cause buying to step in on that, because there's no way we're going to grow 179 bushels per acre on this, and we'll get to that here as we get deeper into these charts. It's not probable. Even 177 is not probable anymore. Soybeans, this one here, 88.95. 87.60, up 1.3. They're going to be tough to do that. I think the surprising bearish one is going to be sorghum. Kansas, they're crazy how much they plant down there, and it's easy to grow, less water, and their ability to move those bushels off is quicker and faster. Last month was 6.9. I think the sorghum number, watch out, this jumps 7.5, 7.6, and that bites into that corn number up here. That's your standout. Spring wheat, 11.4, down 340,000 from last month. A lot of abandonment switched over to corn for the insurance. Probably not going to grow much for corn, but they went for the insurance. So I think this number here could be closer to 11 million than it is 11.4. That'll be the standout number to watch for tomorrow. Well, spring wheat, was there any wonder why 20% good to excellent yesterday? Consider the West Coast. Granted, there's only about 12% of total production is out there, 1% down in Colorado. This is probably the best looking spring wheat down here for the country, is down in here. All of Washington State, Oregon, Idaho, I did it backwards, but you know what I mean. Oregon, Washington, Idaho, they're burning up. That heat's carrying into Montana, burning this up. Southwestern part of our state here in North Dakota did catch the moisture, but the rest of the state just dismal, especially going into Minnesota. Wait till I show you the next chart. You're going to see the spring wheat production continuing to collapse, and our carryout on spring wheat with acreage being reduced is probably about 125 to 150 million, and that supports even higher prices yet, even though spreads have topped. Moving on to this chart, I want you to see this is out as of today. Now, keep in mind, this takes into account all the rains we got over the weekend. Look at Minnesota. Look at Iowa. Still hurting South Dakota. And they're getting the heat. And out here, take a look at, I just showed you for Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana. How do you grow a decent spring wheat crop with that? And going back to this chart, let's talk corn. Okay? The last 7 days, all this rain that was supposed to come still missed most of Minnesota. Southern parts picked up some nice rain. Looking into South Dakota, they're like us. This is the last 7 days. Where's the drought buster? It's to the south. Yes, parts of Iowa did get rain. Also into Illinois has got some good rains. But we've got well over 20% of the Corn Belt still suffering. This is our moving forward 7-day GFS. This is always the wishful one. And every county that's in here produces 20 million bushels or more. So this, in fact, is the Corn Belt. And I just showed you the bulk of this has been missing out. This area of the Corn Belt is not going to help trend line yields. Yes, it'll be great if this rain comes, but this is the GFS. It's always a dreamer. I'm sure the Euro out this afternoon will show these rain chances, but they're more in the blue category. And what is blue? And ½ inch over 7 days. That means maybe a quarter inch one day, quarter inch another day. While the heat returns after the 4th, this is a problem. So moving on to the corn charts, yes, the 100-day moving average got pounded on, but held. Short-term moving averages, I've showed you this. The 40-day stopped us today. Now it's all about the report tomorrow. Bearish data, I think we hold this level down here, and a lot will be looking to buy into a bearish report here because of the upcoming weather and the fact that there's no way we're going to be able to produce nationally 175 bushels per acre as the weather trend is warmer, drier, and doesn't want to break out of the Western Corn Belt. So this bearish report would do something like this and still climb. Otherwise, bullish report, well, you can see what I see here. You can see the apex that's built here, and we go right there, and then the question is, do we go through? This, I think, is the more likely scenario. So we'll see what the USDA says tomorrow. This is the intraday chart. I showed you this over the weekend. We got through it, turning ourselves positive. Purple line is now positive. Got to get through the report tomorrow, but maybe it's hinting by holding 530, the report will probably be friendly. We'll see. We have turned the purple back up. That's a positive. Yes, they can get choppy, but lately we've been just trending. Once we turn higher, we're higher. Lower, we're lower. Higher, we're higher. Lower, we're lower. This thing continues tomorrow. It implies maybe a friendly report. Did you see the July corn explode today? Yeah, going into delivery, it implies they're probably going to be lowering that stocks number below 4 billion. Soybeans still holding that massive blowout low down here in the 1230, 1250 area, 38% retracement of the whole move from last summer's low. Came in at 1240. We had this support we had ahead of time, said 1250 was important, went to 1240. So get through tomorrow, that holds. We do have a lot of resistance here at the purple line. Comes in tomorrow around 1240, 1245. Even on the intraday chart, you can see it comes in at 1240 tonight through tomorrow morning. This is a 2-hour chart. So again, here too, ABC up would allow for something 1250, 1260. Friendly USDA data, we don't know. We'll see. Would send us a lot higher, but that's up to the USDA. Wheat today, of course, spring wheat got to within a whisper of the 2017 high before they wrecked it on spreads. Of course, the daily chart looks pretty bad. Outside day down, everybody's going to scream, top, 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 4th of July, top. Well, maybe. Last time we had an outside day was on this one. And what happened? Another 50 cents in losses before it turned. Massive support is this moving average at 773. Don't know if we have to hit it, but if corn comes in tomorrow and runs positive on that report, well, then obviously corn will support us on spreads and we can go on to new highs. Intraday, here's that 850. We had sent this out last week when it was banging here on this 2-hour chart and it held. Now today, falling through the purple line is a bad deal unless we're quickly back through it. As you can see, it can get choppy here and it can get chopped up. Even here it got chopped up. But once you kink that purple line, that's where it's moving. So it's important within about 6 bars that we're turning through the purple line. Otherwise, you're going to kink this bar down and then you do have a top. Fundamentally, it doesn't make sense, but technically, that's how things work. So we'll see. As long as this gets turned higher quickly, spring wheat's still on its way to new all-time highs for this year. We think 9.50, 10 is a target later on, but then also we think December corn has a chance at $7. That's why corn's at 10.50. This is Eugene Grainer with Heartland Investor Capital Management. Hope you find this information useful.